This is Max and Mia podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Max and Mia podcast. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matthew. What's up, everyone? We'll be joining you for a few episodes this month while Max and Mia are away. It's great to have you here. So, Rachel, how are things?
Can't complain, Matthew. Actually, pretty excited about what we're discussing today.
Me too. But real quick, if you're getting something out of these episodes, we'd love it if you could hit that like button.
Your support helps us reach more learners and keeps us bringing you these practical B2 level lessons. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
Exactly. We're honestly grateful for everyone who takes the time to listen and support what we're doing here.
Couldn't do this without you guys. Your support keeps us going.
All right, so should we jump into today's topic?
Let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about describing your day and daily routines.
That's right. And by the end of this episode, you'll be able to talk about your day just like a native speaker would.
We'll cover some really useful stuff. Adverbs of frequency, present continuous, phrasal verbs for daily life, and more.
So don't go anywhere. This is going to be super practical.
Definitely. So, Matthew, where should we start?
Well, before we get into it, let's ask you guys something. What does your morning routine look like? Do you wake up early, or are you more of a snooze button person?
Good question. And actually, Matthew, what would your perfect morning be? Like if you could design it from scratch?
My perfect morning? Probably waking up naturally without an alarm, having a slow breakfast, maybe going for a run. What about you?
Oh, I'd love to wake up around 7, do some yoga, have a proper breakfast, not just coffee, and actually have time to read before starting work.
That sounds nice. But let's be honest, what's a typical morning really like for most people?
Rushing around, hitting snooze 3 times, grabbing whatever's quickest for breakfast, and running out the door.
Exactly. So let me share what my actual morning routine looks like. I usually wake up around 6:30. Notice I said usually. That's an adverb of frequency. We use it for habits and routines.
Good point. Other common ones are always, often, sometimes, and rarely. These are essential at B1, B2 level.
Right. So my alarm goes off and, well, I'm not going to lie, I hit snooze at least once. Now, hit snooze is a phrasal verb, which means to press the snooze button. Phrasal verbs are super important for sounding natural.
Absolutely. And notice we're using present simple here. I wake up, my alarm goes off, because we're talking about regular routines, not something happening right now.
After I finally get up, I head straight to the bathroom to freshen up. Freshen up is another phrasal verb meaning to wash your face, brush your teeth, make yourself look presentable.
Do you have breakfast right away?
Yeah, I do. I can't really function without it. I usually make myself some toast with eggs or just grab some cereal if I'm running late. And coffee. Always coffee.
Okay. Notice Matthew said, I usually make and I grab. 2 different actions, both using present simple because they're habits. Now, here's a common mistake. We say have breakfast or make breakfast, not do breakfast.
Great catch. So here are some key morning phrasal verbs you'll definitely need. Let's start with the basics. Wake up, which is to stop sleeping, and get up, which means to actually get out of bed. Then, if you're like us, you hit snooze to delay your alarm.
Yes, and after that, you need to freshen up, meaning you wash your face and get ready. And of course, you get dressed. You put on clothes. Sometimes, if you're in a hurry, you might just grab something to eat, meaning you take something quickly.
Excellent. And we can't forget the verbs that describe how fast you're moving. You might have to rush because you run late, which means you're behind schedule.
And finally, when you leave the house, you head out. Mastering those phrasal verbs makes a huge difference in sounding natural.
Okay, Rachel, your turn. What's your morning like?
Right, so I'm definitely not a morning person. I set my alarm for 7, but realistically, I'm getting out of bed closer to 7:20.
The classic snooze routine.
Guilty as charged. Now, here's something interesting. I can say I set my alarm for 7, which is a habit using present simple, but I'm getting out of bed at 7:20 uses present continuous to describe what's actually happening during that time.
Nice explanation. That's an important B2 distinction. Present simple for permanent routines, present continuous for what's actually happening or temporary situations.
Exactly. So after I'm finally up, I take a quick shower to help me wake up properly. Then I do my skincare routine. It's important to me. And then I throw on whatever's comfortable.
Throw on means to put on clothes quickly without thinking too much about it. Very casual expression.
Right. If I have time, I'll make some oatmeal or have fruit and yogurt. But if I'm running behind, I'll just grab a granola bar and eat it on the go.
On the go means while you're moving or traveling somewhere. Super common expression.
Exactly. And then I'd check my phone real quick, see if there are any urgent messages, and then I'm ready to start my day.
Now, not every morning is the same, right? Some mornings go smoothly, others are just chaotic.
Oh, tell me about it. Like yesterday, everything went wrong. I overslept, couldn't find my keys, and spilled coffee on my shirt.
Notice the past simple there. I overslept. I spilled. I couldn't find. When we're telling a story about what happened, we use past simple.
Good point. I'd say my morning was rough, or you could say it was hectic. Everything felt rushed and stressful.
So here are expressions for when mornings go well. If you wake up on time and everything's great, you can say, my morning went smoothly, or everything fell into place. That means everything worked out perfectly. You might also say, I had a productive morning, or it was a great start to the day.
But what about the other side, when things go badly? You might say, my morning was a mess, meaning it was disorganized and chaotic, or simply, everything went wrong.
And if it was stressful, you can say, I had a rough start.
Yeah, or perhaps you just had too many things happening at once. In that case, you'd describe it as hectic or chaotic.
What about when it's just fine? Not great, not terrible.
Then you'd say, it was okay, nothing special, or just a regular morning.
And if it's amazing, you might say, I had an amazing morning. Everything went perfectly. Or I woke up on the right side of the bed.
Woke up on the right side of the bed? That's an idiom meaning you started the day in a good mood. The opposite is woke up on the wrong side of the bed, which means you're grumpy.
Love that expression. So, listeners, one more question. What's the one thing that can make or break your morning?
For me, it's definitely coffee. If I don't have my coffee, the whole day feels off.
For me, it's getting enough sleep. If I'm exhausted, nothing else matters. The morning's already ruined.
Okay, quick grammar comparison here. I used to skip breakfast every day, but now I always eat something. Notice used to for past habits that changed.
Great example. That's very B2. You can also say, my mornings used to be more chaotic, but now I have a better routine.
All right, listeners, here's your first challenge. Pause right now and describe your morning today in 3 sentences. Try to use at least one phrasal verb and one adverb of frequency. We'll wait.
All right, before we jump into afternoon routines, let's do a quick recap of the key points for the morning.
Sounds good. The main grammar rule for daily routines is using the present simple for habits, like I wake up and I have breakfast.
And to make your English sound natural, remember to use adverbs of frequency, such as usually, always, sometimes, and rarely.
We also covered those essential phrasal verbs, wake up, get up, freshen up, throw on, and head out.
When you describe what happened yesterday, you switch to the past simple. For example, I overslept, or everything went wrong.
And if you want to compare your life now to your past habits, use used to. I used to skip breakfast, but now I don't.
Oh, and don't forget the common mistake. We say I have breakfast, not I do breakfast. Got it?
Perfect. Now that we're refreshed on the morning, let's dive right into the afternoon slump.
All right, let's move on to afternoons.
Oh, the infamous afternoon. That's when my energy either skyrockets or completely crashes.
Same. Around 2:30, I'm basically a zombie. Notice I'm using present simple again. I'm basically a zombie to describe a regular state.
It's like clockwork. So what do you guys do when that afternoon slump hits? Do you push through it, take a nap, have more coffee?
Because there are definitely different strategies. I've tried them all, honestly. Notice I said I've tried. That's present perfect. I'm connecting past experiences to the present moment.
Good catch. That's the difference. I tried coffee yesterday is past simple, specific time. But I've tried different strategies is present perfect, general experience up to now.
So walk me through a typical afternoon for you.
Well, lunch is usually whenever I remember to eat, which is bad, I know. Sometimes it's noon, sometimes it's 2, and then after that, I'm either on fire getting stuff done, or I'm staring at my screen, wondering why words don't make sense.
On fire means performing really well, being very productive. It's informal, but super common.
Last Tuesday, for example, I had back-to-back meetings from 1 to 4, and by the end, I couldn't even remember my own name.
Brutal. See, that's when I'd say my afternoon was draining or exhausting, when you're just fried by the end of it. Fried is slang for extremely tired.
Yeah, or you could use a few great informal expressions. If you're mentally and physically exhausted, you can say you're burned out. If you have absolutely no energy left, you're running on empty. And another common one for being totally exhausted is completely wiped.
Now, here's a common mistake we hear all the time. We say, I'm tired, not I have tired. Remember, tired is an adjective, so you must use the verb to be. I am tired, you are tired. It's a key point to remember.
Rachel, that's a perfect point to remember. We say, I am tired, not I have tired. That covers us for the majority of afternoons, the struggle, the crash, the zombies. But what happens on the days where we don't feel wiped out?
Exactly. We all want those moments. But then you have those golden afternoons where everything clicks.
In the zone or in the flow both mean you're completely focused and performing well.
Exactly. Or if you're having one of those golden afternoons where everything clicks, you might say you're on fire. That means you're performing really well. Another great informal expression is crushing it, which means you're doing excellent work and succeeding. And finally, you might say that things are going your way. Everything is working out.
And let me give you a key grammar contrast here. I work from 1 to 5. That's present simple for a regular schedule, but I'm working on a big project this week. That's present continuous for a temporary situation.
Perfect example. That's a crucial B2 distinction. The continuous shows something temporary or in progress.
So let's share some real phrases for busy afternoons. When you're extremely busy and unavailable, you might say you're tied up. If the workload is huge, you can say you're slammed, meaning extremely busy, or swamped, which means overwhelmed with work. And a very common phrase is, I've got my hands full, which just means you're very busy.
And what happens when all that work gets too much? You need a break. When you need to relax and release stress, you say, I need to decompress. If you need to leave temporarily, you say, I'm going to step out for a bit.
Or if you need to restore your energy, you might say, I need to recharge.
And the classic one, I'm taking 5, taking a short break. Though let's be honest, it's never actually 5 minutes.
Never actually 5 minutes. Here's another common one, the afternoon walk. Do you do that?
Sometimes it helps clear my head, especially if I've been stuck on something. I'll just wander around the block, get some air, and usually come back with fresh ideas.
So for describing afternoons, if you're feeling low on energy and you're constantly watching the clock, you might say, time is crawling or it's dragging. Another good one is, the afternoon is moving at a snail's pace. All three mean the time is passing very slowly.
But let's flip that around. When you're busy and highly engaged, it feels like the opposite. You might say, time is flying by, or the afternoon flew by. That's when you suddenly realized you got a lot done.
And when you're super focused on your work, you might say, I lost track of time. Now, a quick common mistake, don't say I'm boring when you mean you feel bored. Say I'm bored. That describes how you feel.
Oh, that's an important distinction. One describes your feeling, the other describes your personality.
Okay, listeners, here's your challenge. Describe your typical afternoon using 3 different adverbs of frequency and at least 2 phrasal verbs. Pause the episode and give it a try now.
Welcome back. How did that challenge go? Were you able to easily use those adverbs and phrasal verbs to describe your afternoon?
Hopefully, it helped solidify those concepts. Whether your afternoon was productive or you were completely fried, let's do a quick recap for afternoons.
All right, let's do a quick recap for afternoons. You can use expressions like hit a wall, be in the zone, be on fire, be swamped, or take a break to describe how your afternoon feels.
Remember, we use the present continuous for temporary situations like I'm working on a project this week.
And we use the present simple for regular schedules. For example, I have lunch at 1 p.m.
The present perfect helps connect past experiences to now, like I've tried different strategies to stay focused.
And one last reminder, be careful with common mistakes.
Say, I'm tired, not I have tired. And remember the difference between I'm bored and I'm boring.
Exactly. One describes how you feel and the other describes your personality.
And that wraps up the afternoon. Next up is the evening, where we discuss winding down and getting ready for the next day.
All right, so let's talk about evenings.
Oh, for sure. You've got the night owls who come alive after 6 p.m., and then you've got the early birds who are basically done with life by 8.
Night owl and early bird, these are idioms. A night owl is someone who stays up late, and an early bird is someone who wakes up early. These are really common at B2 level.
So, listeners, what are you? Night owl or early bird? And more importantly, are you the type to unwind and relax in the evening? Or do you use your evenings to get stuff done?
Because I know people who use evenings as their second work shift, which honestly sounds exhausting.
Yeah, I used to do that. Notice I said used to. That's for past habits that changed. I'd finish my day job and then work on side projects until midnight. It was productive, but I was constantly drained.
And now?
Now my evenings are more about balance. See the contrast? I used to work every evening, but now I take time to relax. That's comparing past habits and present habits using used to.
Perfect example of how to talk about changed habits.
So, a typical evening for me, I usually wrap up work around 6 or 6:30. Wrap up is a phrasal verb meaning to finish something.
And then?
There's this moment when I close my laptop where I just breathe and think, okay, the day's over. It's like officially switching modes.
I love that transition moment.
After that, I'll usually tidy up a bit. Tidy up means to clean or organize quickly. Just put things away, clean up my workspace.
Then dinner?
Yeah, I'll make dinner, which, depending on my energy level, could be anything from a proper meal to just throwing together a sandwich. Throw together means to make something quickly without much effort.
What about when you're too tired to cook?
Then it's takeout or delivery. Common mistake here. We say order takeout or get delivery, not order a delivery. Be careful with that.
Good correction. I probably order in twice a week. Order in is another way to say getting food delivered.
So after dinner, I'll either watch something, read, maybe catch up with friends. Notice I'm using will here for typical behavior, not future plans. This is a more advanced use of will at B2 level.
My evenings are different because I finish work closer to 7. I'm more of a night owl, so I hit my stride in the late afternoon.
How do you decompress after work?
Decompress means to relax and release stress.
First thing, I change out of my work clothes. Even if I'm wearing jeans, I'll change into something comfier. Change into is the phrasal verb. You change into different clothes.
Why is that important?
It's psychological. It signals to my brain that work is over. Then I'll make some tea, put on music, and just chill for 30 minutes. Chill or chill out means to relax.
Just sitting there doing nothing?
Pretty much. Sometimes I'll scroll through my phone, but mostly I'm just letting my brain rest. And here's something we all experience. Do you ever plan to be productive in the evening and then just don't?
Oh my God, all the time. I'll think, tonight I'm going to work out. And then I end up on the couch with snacks.
Same. I'll plan to organize my closet and end up binge watching Netflix instead. Binge watch means watching many episodes in a row.
And then you feel guilty. But honestly, sometimes you just need to veg out. Veg out means to relax completely and do nothing productive.
Exactly. So, listeners, do you have that battle between what you should do and what you want to do? Okay, let's cover evening vocabulary systematically. We have many ways to say we're finishing work. You can say, call it a day, which means deciding to stop working, or simply wrap up, which means to finish. More formally, you might clock out to officially end work. You can also say, call it quits.
And once work is done, it's time to relax. To relax after stress, you can say you need to unwind or decompress to release that stress. For more informal relaxation, you just need to chill out or kick back comfortably.
Another great phrase is wind down, which means to gradually relax before bed. Notice these are all informal, but very common at B2 level.
Right. Now, let's talk about what you do next. If you decide to stay home, you might say you're going to stay in for the evening. You can also say you're going to have a quiet night or keep it low-key, meaning you'll stay relaxed and casual at home.
But if you're feeling energetic and you want to go out, you might say you're going to head out, to leave home and go somewhere, or just simply go out, meaning leave home for entertainment.
And if you're making plans, you'll say you want to meet up with friends, to arrange to see them.
Now for describing how your evening went. If it was very relaxing, you can say, I had a chill evening. It was peaceful. Or, I really unwound.
But maybe your evening was busy. If you had a lot going on, you might say, my evening was packed, or I was running around. That means you were moving quickly from one activity to the next. You could also say, I barely had a moment to myself.
And if you went out and had a lot of fun, you might say, I had a blast. That's a great idiom for having really enjoyed yourself. Or simply, it was a great time. We can also say, we had so much fun.
And finally, what if it was boring? If nothing interesting happened, you'd say it dragged on, or nothing much happened. You can also describe it as uneventful. Now, a common mistake alert, we say at night or tonight, not today night. So you say, I'm tired tonight, not I'm tired today night. This is a very common error.
Important correction. Also, if you crashed early, I called it an early night. I was out like a light, idiom, fell asleep immediately, or I crashed.
And if you stayed up late, I stayed up till midnight, I was up late, or I lost track of time.
Here's an important grammar point. Let's compare these sentences to see how the tenses change the meaning. First, I watch TV every evening. That's the present simple for habits.
Right. Now compare that to I'm watching a great series this week. That's the present continuous showing a temporary situation, something happening around now.
And even more advanced, I've been watching this series all week. That's the present perfect continuous, emphasizing an action that started in the past and is still continuing now.
Perfect B2 distinctions. And here's one more using the simple present perfect. I've lived here for 3 years, so I know all the good restaurants. That tense is connecting a past experience to knowledge you have in the present moment.
Excellent. So we've covered the daily grind and all the tenses you need for it. But here's a crucial question. Do your evenings look different on weekdays versus weekends?
Oh, completely. Weeknight evenings are calm because I have work the next day. But Friday and Saturday, that's when I'll go out and stay up late.
Same. And Sunday evenings have their own vibe, the Sunday scaries.
The Sunday scaries is a common expression for that anxious feeling on Sunday evening about the upcoming week. It's informal, but widely used.
Yeah, Sunday evening hits and suddenly you're thinking about Monday. I try to do something calming, take a bath, prep lightly for the week.
Now let's cover common evening activities, starting with watching TV. You can say you're catching up on a show, which means watching episodes you missed, or binge watching, watching many episodes at once. And generally you're streaming something, watching online content.
If you prefer reading, you might be getting into a book, meaning you're starting to really enjoy it, or just reading for a bit before finishing a chapter.
What about household tasks? You might say you're doing chores, completing housework, tidying up, cleaning and organizing, or getting things in order, organizing your space.
And for social activities, if you're spending casual time together, you're hanging out with friends. You could also be grabbing dinner, getting food together, very informal, or having people over, which means inviting guests to your home.
And the classic evening activity, scrolling on your phone. You might say, I'm scrolling, catching up online, or honestly, wasting time.
Hey, sometimes mindless scrolling is therapeutic after a long day. And here's another used to comparison for you. I used to go out every Friday, but now I prefer staying in. Notice how that connects past habits with present preferences?
Perfect. And here's one more example of the present perfect. I've lived here for 3 years, so I know all the good restaurants. That connects a past experience directly to present knowledge.
Okay, that brings us to the final challenge for you guys. Describe your ideal evening in 4 sentences. Use present simple for habits, include at least one phrasal verb, and try using used to compare with the past.
This is the big one. Pause the podcast right now and try it out. We'll be right here when you're done.
Okay, great job, everyone. You nailed the final challenge. Now, let's wrap up this whole episode with a quick final recap of the most important takeaways from our discussion on evenings.
For essential phrasal verbs, remember wind down, chill out, wrap up, head out, stay in, catch up on, throw together, and change into.
And don't forget the great idioms: night owl, early bird, call it a day, out like a light, the Sunday scaries, had a blast, and veg out.
And here's a final reminder of the grammar points that make the difference. Remember, use the present simple for routines, like I watch TV every evening. Compare that to the present continuous for temporary actions. I'm watching a great series this week.
Also, use the present perfect for connections from the past to the present, such as I've lived here for years. And don't forget used to for changed habits. I used to work late, but now I don't.
Finally, let's go over the common errors to avoid. Say, I have breakfast, not I do breakfast. Say, tonight, not today night. You are bored, not I'm boring. You are tired, not I have tired. And always order takeout or get delivery, not order a delivery.
So there you have it, how to talk about your entire day like a native speaker, from morning routines to afternoon slumps to evening wind down.
We covered tons of vocabulary, phrasal verbs, idioms, and grammar points to help you describe your daily life naturally and confidently.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into daily routines. If you used one of our phrases today, let us know. You can tag us on social media or send us a quick message.
And remember our listener challenges. Practice those sentences this week. The only way to master these phrases is to use them.
Thanks again for tuning in. You've been listening to Max and Mia.
See you next time.